Happy New Year. Happy New Year, and welcome to the Angela Ray Show. I hope that you all had a great and fabulous Christmas season and that you are ready to take charge of you in 2022. For everyone who will be joining the broadcast on the replay, let me know in the comments that you're checking us out after the fact. Make sure that you put hashtag replay in the comments. For those of you who are joining the broadcast live on tonight, you know what to do. Go ahead and slide in those comments and let me know what is one goal that you have for 2022. Let me know what is one goal that you have for 2022. I know I am definitely grateful to be here. So many things have happened since we last were together in late December. We've lost so many of our icons, the great Sidney Poitier, the great Betty White, and most recently, fashion icon Andre from Durham, North Carolina. So definitely glad to be here with you all on this evening. Now, you know what we do. We start every broadcast off with our Ray of Motivation moment. And for tonight's Ray of Motivation moment, I would love to know, have you thought about the fact that you may be the right package, but at the wrong address? You may very well be the right package at the wrong address. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, and just encourage our live viewers to slide into the comments and let me know one goal that you have for 2022. I think it's important to evaluate, are you in the right places? Are you planted in the right soil for you to grow? Now, that may be in your job, that may be where you live physically, whether that's your neighborhood, whether that is the city or even the state that you need to be. That could even be the relationship that you have. You may have great skills. You may have creative ideas. You may have a top notch work ethic. But if you are not in the right place, for you, specifically for where you actually need to be nurtured, for where your talent needs to grow and expand, then it might be time to fill out a change of request form. That's in your job. Again, that's in your relationship. No matter how great you may be, no matter how much effort you may put into the relationship, if it's not where you need to be, it may be time to make a change. At the top of the new year, it's so important to take the time to assess and decide if you're at the right address. Again, tonight's Ray of Motivation moment. Just think about whether or not you are the right package at the wrong address. Well, I am super excited to kick off this year with my guest for tonight. She is a native of Cleveland, Ohio, starting her career off in the classroom, but soon realized that there was so much more and so many people that she could impact. She is a speaker. She has spoken in over 45 states and landed in 14 countries around the world. And I am super excited to have her on the Angela Ray Show tonight. So please help me welcome Tish Norman. Tish, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
It is absolutely my pleasure. And can I tell you, you are the bomb.com girl.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That feeling is mutual. We have known each other for a number of years, reconnected recently. I remember when I was looking through some of my business cards a while back, I came across your actress business
Woo!
card.
Ooh, who's that girl?
Yeah, but there's so many stops that we have along this journey as we continue to refine
Yeah.
our purpose. So, thinking back to those days of being in the classroom, would love to know, were you aware that you had this bigger purpose, or did it just kind of happen gradually?
Yes, that's the answer. I knew I was always an overachiever, if you will, Angela. I always, was in that performance. I always played on that team. I always had excuses from class. I tell people all the time that at least from 7th grade through 12th grade, I never came home from school except maybe during 5 or 6 weeks out the year, because every day after school, I was obligated and committed to some team, cheerleading squad, performance, or the like. And so I knew when I was teaching that I was doing the safe thing, I was going the safe route. But I always had a sense that I wanted to do something that gave me more exposure. And so even the Fridays in my classroom were dedicated to bringing in guest speakers that exposed my students at the time, who were probably grown and married and living their lives now. um, Exposed them. I brought special programming in on the second half of the day on Friday that really kind of gave them some exposure to Black men doing really well out there in the world, as well as women. And they'd bring in gifts and sundries and trinkets from their jobs. They'd do a presentation. They'd answer questions. So I've always taken a sort of non-conventional route as it relates to my profession. But can we say my first year was my last year?
Oh, wow. So just one, you were one and done. Just like the college players, one and done.
Absolutely. When I knew that, I said, let me just major in education, because, you know, my mother was a teacher and all the women in my family were teachers. So I said, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I never really explored and really trusted myself. If we want to get naked right now, if we want to get candid, I never trusted myself to step outside of what I knew I could do. Like, I knew I could be a teacher because I even had exposure before that point, even in high school, even going to, the classroom with my mother, my sister, my brother, myself, our whole lives, breaking down her room, helping her set up her room. So I was very familiar with that educational environment. But education is what I knew I could do. I trusted myself with that. And so I look back, really, Angela, like maybe I could have gone to a different school, or maybe I could have thought on a more broader level and trusted my talent enough and trusted myself enough to really branch out. But I stayed with the familiar. And it was okay. I mean, I think I came out all right. I think I came out all right while we're still on this journey. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're still climbing, we're still working, we're still striving, and we're still pushing. So yeah.
So after you were one and done and you decided to take your star power to Hollywood, the land of swimming pools and movie stars, what was that part of your journey like?
Fantastical. At times it felt like I was going uphill on roller skates, and other times it felt like college all over again. I tell you, it was just, you met lots of people who came out with similar goals and dreams and aspirations to make it on the silver screen. When I say it was like college all over again, it was a self-discovery opportunity. It was people who found love. It was people who discovered new talents that they didn't previously think they had, that LA brought out. It was partying every night. All right. It was, one of my best parties I ever threw, because anybody knows me, especially when I was kicking it out there, I threw dope birthday parties. Like, that was me. I was that girl. Right. Mm-hmm. Monday night, one of my best parties was on a Monday night. And so LA was any day of the week, you could make it a fantastic experience, right? And so LA taught you guts. LA taught you some smarts. LA taught you to leave that Midwestern girl thinking behind and get some street smarts about you, because if you don't watch it, you're going to get took. And yeah, that's right. I said took. And so LA made you develop thicker skin. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because you can get looked up and down. Yeah, no, you're a little too big. Move over there. Thank you. Thank you for coming, though. You can be auditioning and someone's looking down, and this is before phones. So, oh God, now that phones, reading a magazine, turn the page while you're auditioning. No, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. So it teaches you to get some thick skin. Okay. It teaches you to develop deeper confidence, because you can quit and go home, or you can stay the course. You can develop with the game. You can stay in the gym, keep your body tight, keep your appearance up, keep your talent sharp. If you're a singer, keep your voice tight. If you're a musician, keep your keys tight, keep them drums tight, because the best of the best from their respective cities and towns, the best of the best all move to LA. So you're literally competing with the people who are at the top of their game in their cities who come out. And that's when it's that dog eat dog, crabs in a barrel, what you really made of culture that's in Los Angeles. So I miss it. I mean, I love it. I miss it. I go as often as I can. So many special places. And even still, I have lots of friends in Los Angeles there. But I slowly, Angela, found myself transitioning from that Hollywood environment, and went back to school and got a master's in education, and then found myself back in the classroom again. I'm like, okay, what did I really move out here for? If I'm back in the classroom. So LA was just a fantastic experience. There were ups and downs, because I did miss my people who are all in the Midwest, and missed my girlfriends and my family and things like that. And I would go home. My first year, I went home 7 times.
Oh, wow.
In my first year.
A lot.
That's a lot, right?
But then again, you're not driving distance, right? Or were you flying?
Oh God, no, definitely flying. But tickets were $200 then, 220 bucks. And at the time, if you remember, Northwest Airlines had direct flights from Cleveland to LA. So
are they still around?
No, they were acquired by Delta. So
okay. I do remember flying Northwest to Detroit. No, South Bend, Indiana. South Bend, Indiana. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if it was Detroit, I could get that, because Delta, Detroit is a hub for Delta. So yeah.
So we go from the classroom to Hollywood, back to the classroom, but then somehow you found yourself on a larger stage as a speaker. And so talk about that journey of, refining your skills and elevating to speaking to, in 14 different countries around the world.
Oh boy. Well, it didn't start out like that, right? It did not start out like that. I do have to say, prior to moving to Los Angeles, I had won a couple pageant titles, and some of those experiences allowed me to speak in other countries, right? But it wasn't Australia. It was, the British Virgin Islands, things like that. And so I would say that my speaking career started out of an amalgamation of all of my professional experiences. And as an educator, as an actor, I like to call myself a triple threat, right? Singer, actor, dancer. Come on, Dorothy Dandridge.
Okay.
As an entertainer, actress, singer, dancer.
And MC and host.
Right? As an educator, and then even I'll pull in some pageant experience, right? Those combined really makes for an excellent combination of being a presenter and speaker on stage. So every Wednesday, we would go to the newsstand. All right. We talking 98, 99. All right. It seems like a lifetime ago. Woo! But we would go get the Backstage West. Anybody know about that watching? We would go get the breakdowns, right? And we would go get this newspaper, and we'd flip it past all of the articles into where the auditions were. And I mean, you used to have to stand in line to get that newspaper, right? Because everybody wanted to audition. We wanted to get those breakdowns. We wanted to get in line, and we wanted to get that job and cash that check. And so there was a an advertisement, Angela, for speakers, for high school speakers. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. What is that?
Back
So
it up.
I looked it up and I'm like, all right, I'm going to audition. This is me. I can do that. Let's get it. I'm auditioning anyway. It didn't call for me to have a 9 to 5 because I was allergic to 9 to 5s. And so it called for me. I think it was like what, $100 a day, $100 per presentation. And you got paid to travel and you got paid to speak. So for example, if you had one presentation that was $100, that company would fly you to, Minnesota, pay for everything, and then you get that $100. Or let's say that school you were speaking at had you do 5 presentations. You had to do 5 assemblies. And what the subject matter was is teaching high school students, presenting options for high school students to be successful after high school. So for freshmen, it was how can you be successful throughout high school? And then for those juniors and seniors, it had them looking for their next step after high school. How can you be successful? Be it the workforce, be it military, be it college. And so I'm like, hello, I can do that. That's me. I love it. Hire me. So I went, auditioned, started working with that company at the time. And it was absolutely fantastical. That's my new word for 22, by the way.
I noticed you've used it a couple times already tonight, Tish.
Fantastical. And so anywho, I started to meet other speakers as we continued to see one another throughout that company. We would get together because we were independent contractors, but we would get together for speakers conferences, and other opportunities came from that. And Angela, it has been just great. I used what God naturally gave me, my skills, my natural skills, talents, and abilities, as well as a drive and a thirst for an entrepreneurial experience. And it has been my magnificent obsession since then. Anything and everything that I have done in a professional environment, be it high schools, I tell myself I speak in 4 arenas: corporate, college, classroom, community. And so I speak in those 4 arenas. And no matter what it is, if it's corporate training or if it's doing virtual presentations or even what you and I are doing right now, it is what I feel and what I know as I am working in my gift that God's given me. So it's been pretty cool. I mean, all ups and downs with the entrepreneurial fight, the entrepreneurial struggle, but it's so worth it. Yeah.
So we have a question from one of our very loyal viewers here at the Angela Ray Show. Edwin says, looking at your social media and your presence this evening, the words vibrant, passionate, intense, and confident come to mind. Have you always had these traits, or did you grow into your power?
Woo! I think, excellent question, Edwin. I think we all. So one of my favorite songs is by India Ari, right? And it says, strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along, as well as the movie The Wiz or The Wizard of Oz, right? Dorothy went looking for love. She went, for a heart, for a home, for courage. She had it all along. And so I'm going to say, in the same way, Edwin, I think I've had it all along. I think I've had it all along. However, the ebbs and flows in life, right? The ups and downs, the victories and the defeats, the tears and the tears of joy all help sharpen and make you into the best version of yourself, or at least I can say who I am right now at this hour. And so I would say, yes, those were things that I was brewing throughout my life. I remember performances as a kid in ballet class. I remember running for 5th grade president of my class. And my slogan was, don't be a fish, Vote for Tish.
Good girl. That's why you have not forgot that, okay? Don't be a fish. Vote for Tish.
Don't be a Tish. And honey, look, I made a sign. Let me set it all up so you know what I'm
Set
working
it up
for.
for us.
So my mama made me make a poster, right? Imagine a piece of paper in the front and a piece of paper on the back. Let me find two pieces of paper. I'm gonna set this up for you real quick.
Paint
So
the picture.
a piece
Write
of
the
paper
vision and
in
make
the
it
front.
plain for us.
Write the vision, make it plain. So a piece of paper in the front and in the back, like this, right? Two pieces of paper. And there was string on top. I put it over my body. So I had one big poster in the front and one big poster in the back. So when I walked up to give my speech, you couldn't even see my body. You couldn't see me from the neck down because I had a big old poster that said, "Don't be a fish, vote for Tish." And it was on the front and the back. I don't need to tell you who won class president. So.
Okay. I mean, it is about those catchy slogans. I mean, it really is. And you remember that so many years later. I'd be curious to know if some of your fellow students remember that as well. I
Hey,
imagine they
listen, I'm
probably
in
do.
touch with a few of them. I'm going to have to ask them if they remember that.
That is definitely memorable. Definitely memorable. So, as a speaker, you talked about impacting colleges, communities, as well as corporations. We're at the top of the year. Are there any specific themes and or goals that you have started talking to audiences about, or you will be presenting to audiences as we get further into 2022?
Absolutely. Listen, what I'm telling young people right now is if you want to be successful in your next step after college, if it's entrepreneurship, if it is aligning yourself with a business or corporation, some company out there that you'll maybe intern with this summer, and then maybe be presented with an opportunity upon graduation, DE&I initiatives are at the top of the agenda. Period. So if you want to be an inclusive leader, if you want to find and experience success in your professional life, I don't care if you're flipping burgers at the Zaxby's chicken at the Zaxby's, or if you're at In-N-Out Burger, or if you're writing somebody's check from the 36th floor of a skyscraper downtown. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and access are at the tops of the agendas right now. And people are putting millions and millions and millions of dollars behind the personal and professional development training in those very sensitive topics that in the past we would want to stay away from. And so I am doing lots of implicit bias training, lots of diversity, equity, and inclusion training, lots of anti-racism training. I'm doing it, Angela, even on the corporate level, doing some freelance work with some Fortune 500 companies, but it is on the agenda. So I'm telling some young folk now, why not get a head start? Start doing that now in your organization. Is your sorority an anti-racist sorority? Is your fraternity an anti-racist fraternity? So what does anti-racist mean? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down.
Break it down for us.
Because let me tell you, that's what's going to be talked about. That is on the agenda when you get to these corporations, because I know I'm training in both of those categories. Another big topic now, Angela, is just this bounce back, resiliency, coping of not the new normal, but literally a new world. No one said that COVID was over, right? We're in this pandemic, this era of this pandemic at this time. And just when people thought, okay, we're in the clear or things have calmed down a little bit, what happened in December? Just a massively huge outbreak, which shut a lot of things back down again. People who have to work from home, who are used to going to work every day, people who are used to going to class every day, used to getting on a plane, getting in a car, driving to campus, and now they're working at home. They're on computers like you and I are doing now. Teaching from class, teaching from a computer, learning from a computer, managing people remotely from a computer, devising new plans, strategizing new plans, all from a computer. Those are significant challenges that people are facing now. How do we do it? So I want to tell students, I've got a presentation next week in Ohio, next Friday. And I tell you, these kids have been on my mind for a month and a half now, because I need them to know that those teachers, they don't know what it's like, because none of the teachers that are teaching you went to school in a pandemic. We don't know what that's like. We don't know that some of you all do better in a organized classroom, in-person environment. And then when you're at home and mom and dad are at work, or whoever is at work, and you're at home by yourself and nobody's there to get you up and make sure you eat and have you on a schedule, we don't know what that's like, because we didn't go to school in a pandemic. And then what else do I have to say when we flip the coin? Flip the coin. Students, those teachers have never taught in a pandemic before. So they're figuring it out too. They're not these tech savvy people that can be on Google Classroom and manage 25 students, and some are, their cameras are off, some are in the bed, some are embarrassed about their home and don't want to show what's behind them. Some have 4 people living in the house, and maybe there's little kids. The teachers are figuring out as they go, and the student, everybody is figuring it out as we go. So
it's new for everybody.
It's new for everybody. So everybody give everybody some grace, right? Everybody be a little bit more empathetic to these struggles that people are going through now. As we're, there was a thing before when sometimes you start a job and nobody trains you. It's called on-the-job training. Like you figure it out as you go. Yeah, that's what we're doing in the pandemic. We're literally figuring it out as we go, because guess what? Things are changing daily.
And almost hourly. Hey, Rose. So happy to have you on tonight. Rose says, love it. How could one forget that slogan? Don't be a fish, vote for Tish. I'll probably be saying that on tomorrow. Here's another question from Edwin. What advice or wisdom sustained you through the pandemic?
Whew. So we're going to keep it this way. We're not going to go this way. So this is what I will say to Edwin's question. I did a master class with a friend and colleague that we both know, Dr. Joshua Fredenberg, Angela, and a colleague of ours, Delatoro McNeil. And I said I was always going to give him his props for blessing me with this virtue, if you will. And Delatoro said, Tish, call me after this is over. So I called him up and we chatted. And he said, listen, let me tell you something that I do every day. Because I was at a very, very dark place in my life with the sudden and unexpected transition of my beautiful, lively, knew she was going to live until she was 99, like her mother did, mother. And Delatoro said, Tish, my mother transitioned 7 years ago, and it feels like yesterday. He said, let me tell you what I do. And I'm getting to my question. I'm getting to my answer, Edwin. He said, every morning I get up and I write 10 things that I'm grateful for. He said, change your mind to start expressing gratitude every day. Find something. I don't care if it's the fact that you can have a computer, that you got some jewelry, that you got a choice of clothes to wear tonight, that you have a green screen and you got technology, that you got heat when it's cold and air when it's hot, that you got ice. Come on, think about ice for a minute.
Listen, okay? Especially on those hot days in hot land.
Yes, some people don't have ice. So I started, Angela, almost from that day that Delatoro shared that with me. I had a fantastic little journal that I had maybe 1 or 2 pages written in it. But I started that day and made that journal my gratitude journal. It's a little cute little Tory Burch journal that I got from Nordstrom Rack.
Got to that rack part in there, right?
That I got from Nordstrom Rack, right? Because ain't nobody spending $45 on a journal because it has a name brand. No, it's Kate Spade. It's Kate Spade. It's not Tory Burch. It's Kate Spade. So anyway, I started doing just that. I started writing 10 things that I was grateful for in that journal every morning, through my wet pillowcases, through my wet tears running down my face. And I was able to still find some things to express gratitude for. So what got me through that time, and I'm not through it, let's just be clear. I had wet pillows this morning. Okay. Gratitude. Gratitude is humility. Gratitude is a declaration of faith, because you can express gratitude for stuff you don't even have yet. Gratitude can change your mindset and your attitude from that frown to turning it upside down. When you sit there and you think about how your floor is somebody else's ceiling. Your worst is what somebody wishes they had.
Come on now. Come on now.
So when you
feel your help coming on.
Listen, when you think about, like, I thought about that pandemic when we were all in these, I don't know what to do. I'm sick of being in the house. We got cabin fever. I could go sit in another room, Angela. I could go sit in the sunroom. I can come downstairs in my media room. I can go sit in my, I had multiple places in my home if I wanted a change of environment. I had a big TV hanging on the wall. I had food that I could, if I didn't even want to go to the grocery store, I could order it. So I had money to order. Come on. So when we think about what that one thing is that, at least for me, not only revolutionized and changed my mindset in my life, unequivocally, it is gratitude, period. And I open up specifically those virtual keynotes that I have. I open up all my presentations, or at least somehow I incorporate it into this moment where I'm having the entire listening audience, the viewing audience, express gratitude for something. And I don't want you to go deep. I mean, I don't want you to stay surface, Angela, right? I don't want you to say, oh, I'm grateful for God, my family, and health and life. That's good, right? That's good. But tell me some deep things that you're grateful for. And girl, I have people like, I'm grateful that my work study came through.
How about that?
I'm grateful that I have a house that I can get on the internet and be able to tune in and watch you, and the internet is paid. I'm grateful that my roommate is nice this year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really having these people dig deep a little bit, and let's take a deep dive and really try to change your mind. And then I'm going to challenge you to do it every morning and express gratitude for some things that maybe you had not done before, until your mind changes, until your personal culture changes, so it becomes a natural thing, what you do every day, all day.
Well, amen. Rose says, I love your energy and your message, and the story about going to LA and the challenges there are quite interesting.
Yes.
And Rose, I'm so honored to have Rose on tonight, one of my personal friends, but a celebrity. Rose is one of the recurring actors on Cobra Kai, which just dropped recently on Netflix. So that's just a plug for my girl. Love her dearly. Edwin says, that's the collection plate. Cue the choir. Shouting shoes.
Congratulations. Come on, Karate Kid. Come on, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. There's a whole generation of us who grew up on that movie. Some people only know the version with Jaden Smith, but before Jaden Smith's version, there was another version of the Karate Kid.
Come on. And I
my
love it.
age.
I love it. No, and it's so amazing that they have some of this. I watched the show, first of all. So it's amazing that they have some of the same cast members, like the guy that Ralph Macchio fought in the big tournament, even his coach, like everybody's there except Pat Morita. So hey, I'm here for it. Go get it, girl.
Definitely. As we begin to wind down, just want to ask you, are there any final thoughts? You actually, in talking about gratitude and talking about what helped you get through the pandemic, you've already given a great pearl, a great pearl. So, but as we wrap up, would love to know, are there any final thoughts of wisdom that you'd like to share?
What's your word for 22? What is your word? I want to ask everybody that. What is your word? I've been on that receiving end of identifying a word for about 6 or 7 years now. And it just came out of nowhere. I think somebody even wrote a book about it, but it was before I even knew about the book. My word or action plan, because I don't write New Year's resolutions, right, is project management. Like that's the word that got deposited in me. I mean, I love fantastical, right? But I mean, my action word.
Right.
It is project management. I have several projects that are on my, life's agenda right now. And I'll just share with you guys since we're closing out. One of them was getting my health together. And I have had nothing but doctor's appointments since the beginning of the year. And I'm going to the dentist tomorrow morning. Like I am getting all of these projects that have piled up in my life. I'm executing and I'm managing them to completion. So I do not want to live a life where I have so many pots on the stove and the top is off. Like I want to be able to close these projects and get them handled and get them done, because it doesn't do us any good. It does us an extreme disservice, look, to the project and to us by not completing it. And so you end up getting behind. I'm that incessant procrastinator. Tish, when you gonna get to it? Tomorrow? Later? Now? No, that's me. And so that has not gotten me that has not yielded me the results that I desire. And so get your word for this year, right? Get your word and let it come to you. Don't go searching for the word. Think about it, meditate on it, see yourself executing, see yourself getting the word, see yourself receiving the word, and then it'll come to you. And so get that word, keep it close, and then carry on.
Carry on. Well, amen. Well, Tish, thank you so much for taking the time out to share with us tonight. Definitely great to connect with
Yes,
you.
thank
All right, CJ,
you.
my word is declutter. You know what, CJ? I'm going to tell you. I don't know if mine is declutter or organized or somewhere in between, but I have been looking for ways to reorganize so much that now the algorithm knows. So every day I'm either, I may not even be on social media and something pops up about, oh, do you have a small space? Take this. And I was like, oh, I have that. I can do that. So
Yep.
that's been one of the things that has kind of been marinating, if you will, in my spirit over the
Yes.
past few weeks, looking at doing some things differently and releasing,
We
I
have to. We
oh,
have
can I say
to.
this? Can I say this? Can I share this with y'all? Okay, I'm not gonna say exactly how old it was, but I got rid of, and it actually just today I thought about it. It was in the closet. I wasn't using it, but I was like, why is it in the closet? I had a blanket that someone gave to me as a gift. It's a UNC blanket. It was kind
Yeah.
of like, that snuggle blanket from college. And I wasn't even using it anymore. I was like, why? Why is
Why
it still?
has it?
Why? I literally took it out. I'd taken it out of the closet maybe about a week ago, and just today, I lovingly released it. I looked at it. I opened it up and I looked at it. I said, okay, it's time to go.
Let it
So
bless somebody else. You know what I believe, Angela? I believe that when we get rid of stuff and we make room and we clear out the clutter and we clear out them checkbooks from 19. Oh, okay. Yeah. I believe
listen,
God will give us the replacement when we get rid of those shoes, when we get clear that closet out of those clothes we don't wear anymore, when we bless some other people with it via gift, via goodwill, via church, via dress for success, however you're going to purge, I believe that when we make room, come on, Jonathan McReynolds, when we make room, then other things will come into that place. So get in there, get in that file cabinet, like what I need to do right over there. I got a file cabinet right over there. Get in that file cabinet and take away those old pay stubs from 2000. Why you still got them pay stubs from 2000?
Listen,
Because
listen.
the tax lady did your taxes already, so you don't need those no more. So get rid of all them pictures that you have. Go over to Ross, go over to Marshalls and TJ Sachs, and get you a photo album and put the pictures in the photo album. Take it out of that shoebox and then throw the shoebox away.
Mm-hmm.
Look, come on, we can go
Listen,
on.
Steve Harvey, I read an article some years ago. I don't know if it was in Essence or Ebony, but so it was a magazine, and Steve Harvey was talking about he had been telling his mom he was going to buy this car. He was wanting to get this
I
car.
know the
And she was
story.
like, "But you got that car in the garage on the bricks. You know, no, you're not, because you got that car in the garage on the bricks." And he had to get rid of that car. So that is definitely.
Yes.
That's a perfect example. CJ says, "I'm throwing everything away. I'm even getting rid of unwanted friends and negative thoughts." Okay, Sora, I hear you. I hear you. Definitely.
Yes.
So yeah, you know what? She's in my house too, Edwin, because when you said the filing cabinet, just the other day, I was thinking about I had kept a file of all of the repairs I had on my car, like everything from an oil change to, just keeping track of when I got the timing belt replaced. That car went to be with that great car place in the sky in 2016.
Where's the papers, Angela? Where are the papers?
The filing cabinet. I did. You know what? I don't even look at it. But when you said that, it reminded me that had occurred to me the other day too. Like, hey, you need to throw away that file of repairs because it was out of sight, out of mind. I wasn't even thinking about it. But when I thought about that blanket, I also thought about those files. So yeah. Now I'm gonna be honest. Huh?
Let's do this for and with each other, as well as all of the viewers and everybody watching right now. Let's take some time this Saturday or Sunday or sometime in the evening. Get your beverage of choice. It can be lemonade or it can be vino. Get some music if it's on your phone or if it's on your Alexa or whatever. Go to that space that you need to clear out. Turn some music on. Get you something to drink. Time yourself for an hour. Get in, do it, and then get up and take a 5-minute break. If you're finished, finish that project and check the box. If not, set your phone again for another hour and sit down. Let's carve out the time and let's get from in front of the television and go get this stuff cleared out. Girl, not only is the stuff in my file cabinet old and useless, the file cabinet is old and useless. It's got tape on the side. The handle is broken. Part of it's bent in. It's unsightly.
I got you.
So let's make some time and be intentional. And honey, let me tell you, I'm talking to the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, because I need to do that. Let's do that with and for each other.
Okay. So we might actually I might set something up like a true I don't want to say a challenge, but and not to take your word, but maybe a project, the first quarter of 2022, Project Angela Ray Show.
That's
And let's look at, what we can do to make our environment better. That was one of the things I was talking about in my Ray of Motivation moment. You could be the right package at the wrong address. And maybe it's not even the wrong address. Maybe your address just needs a little bit of shifting to work better.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely.
Let's do it.
Yeah. This lady needs a one-woman show on Broadway. Okay then, Edwin. Make time and make room.
Wait a minute, Angela. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. if I'm not on all fours and sticking my tongue out and twerking, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, because that seems to be where the culture has shifted to, honey.
You talking about on Broadway?
Well, period. I mean, look who's on the covers of Vogue and all these magazines now. I mean, get your money, but at the cost of what? Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that, sweetie? Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say. I thought I was thinking that. I didn't know if I really said it, but yeah. I
CJ
mean,
says yes, the declutter challenge. Yeah.
let's do all that.
We're gonna call it something, and I'd love to just hear from people from week to week. Maybe this first quarter, I think it's this will be the first time we've done something like this on the show, but I think it would be. Let's do it. Well, let's do it, and we may even bring you back if you have the time. I know
girl.
we may even bring you back and have folk check in and all that great stuff. So so viewers, stay tuned. Next week we may have something formal for you, and we're gonna make it do what it do and actually impact some lives.
Yes.
So Tish, thank you so much for being here tonight. Great to catch up with you.
You as well.
Uh-oh, we got our first person. I texted you, Angela. I want to do the Angela Ray project. Yes. Okay. I love it. Okay, so we have our first participant confirmed along with myself. So now we have two confirmed participants. So yes, I'm gonna put some stuff out there on Facebook, and maybe we can even have some, the reward is a different space, a different environment to shift your energy. But we may even look into getting some sponsors to give some awards as well. And just yeah.
It'd be fantastic. I want to tell everybody, I want to leave you with this. My Instagram, if you want to kind of stay in touch with me or check out some activities that are going on in my speaker world, where I'm always dropping gems on audiences, follow me on all forms of social media. I am
Tish Norman. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, darling. I got you. It's scrolling right now at the bottom of the screen.
I wasn't sure. Did you have speaker Tish Norman down there, or I am Tish Norman?
I am Tish Norman.
Okay, so that's fine. But if you want some quotes, if you want a quote of the day, if you want to see some other inspirational tips and things that'll help you in your life and business and otherwise, then you can follow speaker Tish Norman as well. But no, thank you. Come on, Ticker. Why would I think Angela Ray would do anything less than that? But yeah, y'all stay in touch with me. Let's be connected. I think good people know good people. So if I can be a resource, then that helps continue fulfill my life's goal of serving those and representing and using my talents. I've always used that part of the Patti LaBelle song, "When You've Been Blessed, Pass It On." So let's stay connected so we can pass it on.
I can't sing. Too bad I can't sing. I wanted to say it. I wanted to bring that in, but no, I'm not Patty, and that's not my ministry.
Pass it on.
That's not my ministry. All right. Well, Tish, again, thank you so much for being here tonight, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is it for the first show of 2022, Project Angela Ray Show. We're going to kick that off next week. So until next time, as always, remember, we close out every show with Ray of Motivation number 35. Cleaning a mirror does not change the person who is reflected in it. Until next time, I encourage you all to go out and be the change.